Hey, what's going on? Um, I'm gonna wait for a couple of people to come into the room,
Okay. Oh, you
and
just started. Cool. You literally just
yeah,
started. Yay.
I'm Denaya.
Huh? I know.
Okay,
I said you just
I'm just
started.
I'm just gonna wait for a couple of people to come into the room
That's fine.
because
Education to the child, honey.
educational.
Hey, allegedly. Man, right.
Educational. Hey, allegedly. Um, eh, it's a lot going on. Well, really, it's not really a lot going on. It's just a lot of people seeking attention and validation.
Pretty much.
Um, that's pretty much the thing about you know the whole thing. But I'm gonna start off with really quickly this definition. I'm pretty sure all of us, well, most of us,
Grand
know the
Rising.
definition. Hey, Karen.
Okay.
Um, so give me a moment. Hold on.
Here's the definition of white privilege. Inherent advantages possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in a society characterized by racial inequality and injustice.
Okay, so y'all just heard that. So y'all know where this about to go. I
Something
will
too
address
scary.
I will address the other stuff that I have on my slate right now. But right now, I just wanted y'all to get that definition of white privilege. And while so many people feel, well, their position on it is basically they don't think that they have white privilege because they're a middle class um, person. Um, just because you don't like Trump or whatever, the things that you say are still just as valid because you might not like him as your commander in chief or the president of the United States, but you do share his ideology. You do share his train of thought that most of his supporters do. You do share um, his way of thinking and their way of thinking. If y'all are not aware, uh, yesterday the commander in chief posted two videos, and one was of a white couple that was on a golf cart. They were apparently golfing, and it was protesters at the golf course. And this older gentleman and lady proceeded to yell at the protesters, call them names, and scream out white power.
That's cute.
Now, we're going to talk about. Wait a minute, hold up, because I need to pull this up really quick.
Let me guess. Our lovely commander in chief didn't, say anything bad about them.
No, we're going to talk about someone named Tom. Tom, and that's not his real name, but we're going to call him Tom. Tom has some of the same ways of thinking. Um, basically, hey, Huggy Baby, he feels as though it's an issue because all the protests. And Tom took to social media to voice his displeasure with protests. As equally as he's not a Trump supporter, he really cannot stand people that's on the left wing, and he made it known. Let me see. He made it very known. This is just some of his comments that he's made on social media. Hold on. You might not be able to see that, but hold on. I got you covered. Give me one moment. Because I have to scroll through all of this. This trash. Okay.
Trash.
So, in the shot that you're seeing, one person replied, "Well said. I really think the enemy here is mainstream media." Okay. Another person says, "I'm glad I had the privilege to get to know you and work beside you. Like Hella said, just a band of brothers raising hell like a murderous crows." Another person says, "Truth hurts, and the mainstream media just keeps putting out propaganda. It's propaganda, and there's no accountability for it. So rebels up." Another post that this person has made: "No lives matter." I'm pretty sure y'all can see that. Please excuse me for my blocking skills, whatever the case is. But they said no
That
lives
no
matter.
looks too damn big. You can't miss it.
So, like, I can't see the comments. So, give me a moment, y'all. Everybody's speaking to each other.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, their position, Tom's position, is that no lives matter. Okay. And he's not the only one. There's tons of people that support this rhetoric. It's tons of people that support this, and this is all on social media. Tom believes that because they are white and middle class, that he doesn't fall under the banner or the moniker of white privilege. And earlier, when I first started this, hey Bree, when I first started this, and I played, and when I played the definition of white privilege in the definition, nowhere did it say if you're exempt, if you're a middle class, hardworking adult. Okay, I want to be clear about that because people tend to think because they're a blue collar worker and they're in the middle class and they pay taxes and they're a patriot and they love their country, that it's still okay to put and show stuff that fits the belief system of people that support Trump. Okay? This is some of their stuff. This is some of their stuff that's been on here. And mind you, just for the record, I am neither Republican or Democrat or any of that. I don't follow and subscribe to any political background because it's all trash. But that's just my opinion. It's all trash. Like I've said on several occasions, these people are friends. They're not, well, they are bipartisan in a sense, but behind the scenes, they all friends. They didn't donate it to each other. They didn't rally, didn't campaign for each other and everything. But this is some of the stuff that Tom has chosen to put on there. And he has the nerve to say, well, white privilege doesn't apply to me. Graph of how of by race, how many people have been killed by the police. Okay. He also put that up. Now, we all know that since this whole thing started with the protests, well, started up again because there's forever been protests in in opposition of police brutality and things of that nature and unfair justice system, the school to pipeline, prison pipeline thing. We're all aware of that. We all know that. And the thing that he says, okay, wait a minute, hold on, because I know you probably can't see it on there, but I definitely see it on my phone. So I'm going to fill you guys in on what was actually being said. Hold on. Just very nasty and vulgar things. Um, let me see. Is this it? Wait a minute. On. Hold on. Because I want to be correct when I say this. I don't want to leave out anything. I just want y'all to get the general picture of what is being like adult.
What Neighbor said he was born
Like
for.
we claim we do. This isn't the 30s and 40s. And please let's stop acting like this is the second coming of the civil rights movement. It's not. You don't like Trump because he grabs them by the P and has a big mouth. You didn't like Obama because he allowed people in his own cabinet to give him the call for drone strikes on everything in the Middle East. Okay? Hospitals and schools because he didn't have a spine. What the F else are you crying, you little twats? Okay? What else are you little twats going to complain about? You are allowing the media and other politically driven organizations to shape what you think. A pretense race conflict, civil unrest, evil police, by acting in the manner of is absolutely childish, what Tom says. You are allowing the rights and amendments to be taken away by the very people you are pushing. We want to fight. Fight the power, not the cops, not each other. The Republicans, they are the criminals. Or and thinking that you're doing something good when it's really you're not make yourself feel better. On that. And let me just say something really quick before I get into these comments. Do you see the difference? When I'm dragging somebody or when friends and I'm gonna before I leave up off of here, I'm definitely gonna put my opinion on so y'all see what the general thinking. Wait a minute, hold up. Let me see. Let me scroll. Huggy. So if I didn't speak to you, hun. Um wait a minute, hold on. I'm still scrolling down. I don't want to be sneaky. Lives matter. F you. Let me go down. Bree says, good morning, everyone. Exchanging pleasantries. Zarina says, correct. And according to Tom, he is neither a Republican or Democrat. He's anti-government. I'm neither Republican or Democrat, but I am not anti-government. If government is being ran the right way. But in my opinion, and this opinion does not speak for any platform that I'm on. This does not speak for any other person that I am associated with. This is my opinion and my opinion alone. They've long been corrupt since before I was born or any of us was born. So
correct.
We're not going to sit up here and pretend like, oh, it's just now, so corrupt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was corrupt when the DARE campaign was a thing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're a little too young to understand where my generation is. Okay? And that's no slide. That's just facts.
She said DARE.
Let me see. What else? Karen Soul says, my white neighbor who said he was born poor said no matter what the social class being white, you are automatically born with unearned privilege, and he said it is not fair. I agree with that statement, Karen Soul. I really do. I do. Karen Soul also says he also said that no matter how hard he fights for equality for all, which includes blacks and his wife and kids, his white people will throw money at the swaying things of their way, the sway things their way, and that's true. That's true. But side note, if don't nobody know, the US dollar is collapsing. So good luck with that. If you're in the stock market, I'm in the stock market. I do own stocks and stuff like that. I play the stock market game. Yes, I do. I'm a newbie to it. I'm a babe, but nevertheless, the US dollar is crashing. The US dollar, the way that this pandemic has swept across this country in the world, I wouldn't be surprised one day if we all woke up and the US dollar was obsolete. Okay? If you do invest in stocks, this is another side note. Please invest into precious metals, gold, silver, not companies. Not companies. And I say that for a reason. Do not invest in companies. Invest into precious metals, gold, silver, things of that nature. So, yeah, that would be my advice to everybody. Hey, Grady baby.
Of course, it crashed from 45 to 5.
Of course. Karen Soul says the United States actually crashed when 45 took office. Actually, Karen, so if you want to be technical, it crashed way before 45 or Obama or Bush Senior actually got into office. The United States has been broken for a long time. The United States has been clout chasing for a long time. Okay. Yeah. They owe so much money, even to If I had to name one country off the top of my head, it would be China. The United States owes so much money to China, and then 45 keeps putting tariffs and tariffs and tariffs and tariffs and tariffs on people, and you know you know what I'm saying, you're living the dream. You know what I'm saying. Now that saying has a really good meaning to it. Now you're living the dream. It's not really technically real, and it's not going to benefit anyone who isn't in the top 1%. Okay. So the US dollar has always been trash. The US dollar was established mainly because they wanted to get all the gold. The gold is the real wealth. The gold has always been a precious commodity. In Africa, gold was so abundant. And this is what I'm trying to say. Gold was so abundant that it decorated everything. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even in Egypt, it decorated everything. Gold was so abundant. Do y'all know about an African king called Massa Musa?
Yep.
If you do not understand who that person is, you need to go and Google his name. He was so rich, he gave away diamonds and gold all the time. Children will kick them down the street like rocks. He was very wealthy. So, wait a minute, let me see. Zarina says her neighbor at least understands what white privilege means. Tom is completely blind to his own privilege, to what it means. Yeah, he's complete, and in my opinion, he's probably completely blind to it until he needs to pull it out of his bag. Most people of color, if not all people of color, do not have that privilege, that right to be able to pull the card, that privilege card out their bag and be like, hey, don't mess with me. I'm a celebrity. Some of our most famous coons of color are starting to find that out right now. Okay. So yeah, most definitely. He can pull that privilege out when he's in the crunch and this, that, and the third. He hides behind Tom, definitely hides behind the fact that he's a quote unquote hard blue collar worker, middle class. And the thing about that, it was another statement that was made that I'm not going to put up here. Like I said, the dollar is trash. Okay. The dollar is holding on by the thread of life. The dollar is trash right about now. Okay. So um all that other stuff that he was talking about and he was saying, it makes no sense. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to help anybody. It's really not. The dollar is trash. Karen Soul says, honestly, once Clinton left office, we were sold off to China when the Bush idiots stole from the country. Started which Bush? You talking about senior or you talking about junior?
Junior.
Oh, honey, honey. Karen Soul, darling, you gotta go back to what was it? Jimmy Carter's administration, okay? You have to go back to the Carter administration to understand what I'm talking about. Um, let me see. Let me see what else she said because I don't want to cut her comment off. It says sold to China and Bush idiots stole from the country, started unnecessary war, and we have the downfall. So, yeah, and I do agree with that statement, Karen. So I very much do. It was all about gold when Bush Jr. got into office. It was mainly because he wanted to finish what his father started. Okay. Much like, when the crack epidemic hit in the 90s and stuff like that, and people were like, oh, drugs are sweeping our nation and drugs are sweeping our country, but these was the motherfuckers that had the hand in it the whole time. But that's a different live. Um, yeah, but Tom definitely feels as though he has privilege. He has white privilege, and he feels like certain things that don't apply to him. The ramifications of him having white privilege does not apply to him. Let me see. Zarina said they're the main ones who should actually seeing white privilege on the fact that you have to be a person of that rose in that social class. No, it does not mean that. White privilege has never meant that. You could be the richest of the rich or the poorest of the poorest. You could be white trash. It's not about you how many zeros you have after the it does have to do with wealth,
Hey, Tessie.
but like Baba Gregory always said before he ascended, he said if you don't have the power to wake up and change the stock markets and change the movement of the stock markets and the economy, you have no power. Okay? Which I believe is very true. Let me see what else. Let me see. Karen Soul says at Zarina, yeah, my neighbors have witnessed his black wife and his child be ridiculed. He has literally defending his wife. I yeah, and man, the thing about that, and this is the thing too, a lot of these so-called bigots, racial clown, hide the guys up if they're married or if they're dating a person of color. Oh, I'm not racist. I've dated a person of color. One of my speaking on this, I'm not going to say any names or anything. I'm just going to say situations. One of my friends, we were talking one day, and we were talking about how friends come and go and things like that, and she told me about a story about one of her friends who is married to this white guy and has a child by this white guy, and the lady has another child from a previous relationship. Excuse me, who happens to be of African descent, African American or black, whatever you want to call it. And he walks in there, and she walks in the room one day and she says, "What's up, nigga?
Oh.
How my niggas doing?"
Mm-mm.
But when a person had a friend and a couple of other friends had an issue with him doing little things like this, his excuse was, "Oh, I'm just joking and this, that, and the third, and blah 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 blah." No, he's testing you to see what you will allow and what you won't allow. And as the old saying goes, people are only allowed to do things to them if you do. If you so, that's just a little story, a little tidbit out of touch. Um, And I just want to say really quickly that most people or some people might feel like, yeah, protesting has long since died and it doesn't grasp the concept of what's going on right now and we need to be more active in it. Yeah, that statement is true too, but also you have to see the gains from what has occurred and what has changed since the protests jumped off for George Floyd. I do not understand why so many people had to die to even get this far, in my personal opinion, but nevertheless, um, this is where we are. Since the protest of George Floyd has been started or has started, laws have been passed. I'm gonna be honest, it's not to benefit people of color. It's still not to benefit people of color, or it doesn't go far enough. Um, After the last flag, the last what is it? The Southern flag for the states have been taken down. All of them have been taken down except happened. A great deal of monuments have been taken down, regardless if they were, for people of color or not. They were still slave owners. Congress by Nancy Pelosi to take down statues and stuff like that. That protests don't mean nothing, and that people are just doing that to make them feel better. There's a lot of angry people out here that's for the Southern pride or whatever, that's mad right now because we're taking down not only slave owners and slave masters that own slave and put people into bondage, we're taking down traitors to this country. And nobody wants to talk about this, and I don't understand why. They were traitors to their country. They wanted to succeed from the United States. If I'm not correct, please correct me. You're fighting for a flag that wasn't even flown in the air back when the first Civil War was, like, you're fighting over something that's second generation, second World War, second generation stuff. You're fighting for that. Your great 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 grandfather didn't fight underneath of that flag. You're fighting for the right to be outwardly racist. And you're fighting for the right to say, hey, I'm going to dominate people of color because they're three-fifths of a human. That's what you're saying when you fly that flag. Karen Soul said, yeah, Zarina, he truly does. And his brother, truly fights harder than some black people I know. They get that when we win, everyone wins. Exactly. His parents were activists in the 60s through the 90s. Right. And that's what people don't understand. And people keep saying, "Oh, you're out here, walking these streets, fighting for equal justice and equality, and defund the police." And you have media, and the thing that's not far off the beaten path because I really don't trust media like that. Media is there to sell, much like newspapers. It's there to sell stories. Okay. Do you know within the last 2 or 3, no, the last 5 years or so, how many major magazine publications and news publications, companies, organizations had to retract just stories that they put out there that wasn't accurate? Okay, so I do agree with that part of it. I agree with the fact that media is just media. Media is there to sell stories. Okay. And it's also conditional programming as well. It's also that too. And people have to keep that in mind that there's really very slim news outlets and organizations that report truth. Let me see. Zarina said, "My heart goes out to him at Karen, so I'm glad he continues to fight." Hey Keisha, how you doing, babe? Um, Karen Soul says, "You missed what I said. It started with Senior Bush." No, that's what I was asking you. I was asking you, Karen. So was it senior or junior? I did ask you that. So I wasn't too sure. That's why I asked. Okay, so you said senior. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%, Karen. So no problem. Right. Um, let me see. Everybody's speaking. Everybody's speaking. Hey, Keisha, babe. But yeah, and I want to take this time to bring up something. I've seen a video from DD Love. Um, most people, I've always respected her opinion. Um, but the thing is, what she was talking about in her which come, it was to an extent, yes, she did have a valid point. But this is my thing, okay? And I'm gonna continue to say this, and I don't care if people don't like it or they might feel some type of way about it or what. Where was all this outrage about words and dragging kids when Goddess was doxxed? Where was all this public outrage when they doxed that girl and they had her pictures of her children up on YouTube and people were on here comparing complexions, saying that her kids wasn't her kids, saying that she didn't even give birth up until recently when she miscarried, and people were dropping Leona Williams, were dropping in her comment section saying, "Why don't you show a picture of your dead bastard baby?" Questioning her marriage to her husband. Where was all this public outrage? Where was it? Now, if you really want to have a conversation about this, DD Love, we can have a conversation about this.
Of course. Yes, we know that part.
And trust me, anything that you've said, I do not take that personally. See how the numbers jumping up? See how the numbers jumping up?
I already know.
And I do not take that personally at all. Please understand me. But if you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. Where was your outrage when that happened?
Everyone was crickets then.
I like that's why I paused, because I'm trying to hear it. Like,
everyone was crickets then. And if you're in the bushes, go ahead and drive down and knock that.
Yes, I do agree with you, DD Love. Words do matter. Words have power. When you speak, you're speaking spells. That's everybody. That's not just, certain individuals. When you speak, you're speaking spells. But again, that's a different live. Yes, words do hurt. Yes, there are some content creators that have said things about children and things like that. You, your own self, said you did not read every name that was on there. So
That's why
you
he said he's
possibly
gonna-
could know that me, Denaya, and Goddess's name was on there as potential under surveillance for dragging kids. You'll never find it.
ever.
Midget fingers will never find it. Okay.
But here's the problem that I have with Coco. Like she said before, Goddess was that. So Goddess should be
I
on
hear you,
the
Tessie.
anything.
I see
It'll
you,
be-
Tessie.
It'll be as a fucking victim. But that didn't
I see
happen,
you.
right? You know, and
I
the
see
biggest
you.
thing with the whole situation is the fact of you have people on there that haven't done anything. The only fucking reason they're on there is we didn't listen to church or didn't fucking give her an interview or didn't do this or didn't do that or you got a misconception because she didn't want to fucking get to know somebody. Period. That's why we're on. Because she sat up there and she listened to other people instead of actually listening. People were saying, "Hey, you might want to know them first. Hey, they're not bad people." She got mad because I'm gonna say what the fuck happened. Period. She got mad because Madam denied her an interview. She got mad at me because I told them that I wouldn't stop dealing with Goddess and Madam and somebody else at the time. That is the problem. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sometimes it echoes, but I'll restate that. Sorry, because I want to make sure that everybody gets very clear on what I'm saying. The only reason that our names are on that list is because Trish decided that she didn't want to listen to fucking reason, right? So she's like, oh, well, you know, Madam and Goddess, them are always in things. I'm like, yeah, they're usually defending themselves because people lie on them. I told her this, period, point blank. Told her that first. She's like, you should stop dealing with them. Told her I wouldn't do that. Told her, you know, you should just know them, yada, 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 this and the third. Then the whole situation happened with Raw. She decided to take Raw's side. Now, as you can see, Raw's on the freaking list. So, are you noticing the pattern here? But then she decided she asked Madam for an interview, right? So she asked Madam for an interview, and Madam said no, because why the fuck not? Because Madam needed her thing. So she asked Madam for an interview. Madam said no. So I told her no. Madam told her no. And Goddess just plain dragged her because she wanted to sit there and jump in the situation that me, Madam, and Raw and Goddess had with Raw, which we've actually settled at this point. So again, we're now Raw on the freaking list because we didn't fucking comply to what she wants. What she's claiming that she wants people to do is go ahead and apologize to her, apologize to the people that they wronged, or some bullshit like that. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Sorry. So now we're under surveillance, even though we've done absolutely nothing wrong. But we're under surveillance, and same thing with Listen to I gotta hit her up and figure out what did she tell her no about. This list should be about people that are harming children. Not one person that's on that list currently is the one that's the true offenders. Half that is over there putting up sexual content and other content creators' lives. And doing it under troll pages with children's names on there. He's not on there. The chick in Baltimore. He's not on there. She dragged her own goddamn children. Five days and dragged her.
Oh, Chopper doing that. Chopper the one running around doing that.
Fuck that. That's what I'm saying. I called him half that. I'll use that fool's name. Yeah. I'm like, they're not on there. But people that have just disagreed with you are the ones that are on there. So I said, DD Love, you need to look at the list because it's BS. And the fact that he will think that this is okay is the problem. But it's quite all right. It's quite fucking all right. Because I started making phone calls and started doing interviews and saying how this shit's phony and this and the third. I don't want to hear it. 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 No, you shouldn't do that. I don't want to hear it. 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 No, you shouldn't do that.
Right. And what I wanted to say also, the thing is, like, where I don't disagree with everything that DD Love said, actually, I agree with a vast majority of what she was saying or whatnot. My only issue is, where was your out? And her kids' pictures were put up here, and her marriage was put into question, and she was virtually gulped at for just getting online and speaking her piece on a matter that she was drug into. See, everybody on this beef sector platform do not make it their intention to intentionally go after people. We don't intentionally go after people. People intentionally come after us to paint that picture with a broader brush, because there's not people on here that just intentionally go out and, you know, to just to be in some drama and mess for some clicks in the view, for a little piece of absence change. It's a lot of us content creators out here that's like that.
No,
she
so
said she was
wait,
on some revenge BS.
So Karen said, no, it's because Madam didn't want to do the interview. I didn't want to listen to her telling me who I couldn't be friends with. That's why she's mad at me. Madam didn't want to do the interview. Child, that's what I'm talking about. But this is the thing, and this is the thing that I want everybody to understand about this particular app. The beef sector, quote unquote, is all in your head. Period. There are no specific. There is no beef sector. We've turned it into that. That's the problem. That is the freaking issue. We've chosen for whatever reason, I don't know how the hell that happened. We've chosen to turn it into that. Maybe because people were, and that's YouTube's fault, because YouTube needs to stop monetizing the bullshit. If you're sitting up there and you're harming people and you're threatening people's lives, and this, that, and the third, not when you're saying self-defense, but when you're harming people's lives, when you're trying to find people and you're claiming that people can be touched and you're sending people after people, why do certain people still have channels? If anybody has a connection to YouTube that ever hears this, why does have to still have a channel? I'm confused by these things, because there are multiple offenses he's done. Multiple. He should have been gone off the internet, period. Because he's violated so many terms of service, and yeah. I mean, what happened to this whole COPA thing? Y'all just killing that right now. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like, I've been watching YouTube for years, and this is not the case at all.
Right.
And that's the problem. Some bullshit. At all. But that's the problem. That is the issue. This is not how this is supposed to be. This is what people have turned it into because they notice that they can get paid for quote unquote beefing for freaking dollars. Isn't that cute? Isn't it cute how you can try to destroy someone's life for money? Oh, that's freaking cute. Isn't it cute how you can try to destroy someone's life for money? Oh, that's freaking.
Yes, because I wanna get all this out, and I don't want DD Love to feel like I'm coming for her, because I'm not coming for her. Like I said, I respect her opinion, and that's the main thing that needs to be taken away from this. I respect her opinion, but I get that. But look, listen, hear me out. Where was it?
Then I respect her opinion. Until then,
right. But where was? But this is also my thing. She compared midget fingers
to Kaepernick.
to
No,
Colin Kaepernick.
no,
Colin Kaepernick. Hold on, feel me. Hold on. Oh, one moment. I'm gonna let you get it. But hold on one moment, please. I feel how you feel. I know how you feel. But let me get this woman. Colin Kaepernick never got up on live television or on a panel or any type of social media platform wearing a pink bulletproof vest talking about, see, this is how you got it done. See, this is the thing. And this is where it becomes an issue, because people will have their opinions, which you have your full rights to do so, freedom of speech at the end of the day. But if you do not know all the players and the movements and what happened into it, like, I would just like you to do a little bit more looking into that. You know, and then you equate it to, oh, well, Colin Kaepernick, he was fighting for social justice, he was fighting for the unfairness, and she's fighting for no dragging kids, and this, that, and the third. And you're not factoring in that the petition is biased. You're not factoring in that Midget Fingers got on here about a year and a half ago or a year ago with a pink bulletproof vest on and literally subliminally threw shots at me, Denaya, and Goddess. That's the only thing I'm asking you to put that into your think tank when you compare Midget Fingers to Colin Kaepernick. It is not the same. Colin Kaepernick is not doing this for a coin. Colin Kaepernick is not doing what he's doing because he's trying to get some publicity. He was a NFL superstar, still is an NFL superstar before and after they blackballed him. He's fighting for social injustice for everyone. Her petition represents a biased list because either someone said something that she didn't like, or she was inserting herself into someone else's business. This is what this petition stems from. Yes, there are people on that petition that have said things. And like you said, Miss Love, you do not agree with everything that that person says, but you watch that person. Okay? She is no Colin Kaepernick by any means. No Colin Kaepernick. Never has been, never will be. See, and what people don't understand is all these people that got cyberbullying petitions and the no dragging kids petitions, they have a donation button and a Teesprings underneath of that too. So if you were doing it because you care about the kids, why do you need a payment or donation button for that? How is she like Colin Kaepernick? How? Colin Kaepernick has started social media programs. He has done things actively in the community. He has campaigned in every facet to the de-escalation of police violence against people of color. Period. Regardless of what their sexual orientation is or what they prefer. People of color. Yes, kids' lives do matter. That is a fact. But only thing I'm saying, for you to compare her to, I'm gonna just be honest with you. That was an L. For me, that was an L. It could have been anybody else but Colin Kaepernick. That is a L. It's not the same. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But other than that, the majority of the stuff you said, I do agree with you. I do. I most certainly do. But that right there, and you basically coming out and saying, oh, well, I didn't see the whole petition. That tells me right there that you don't know the whole backstory.
Exactly.
And I say that with love. And I say that with respect. But go ahead, Denai, if you want to say something, go off.
Here's the fucking problem. You didn't read it. You said you didn't read it. You said on multiple occasions, I didn't read it. I didn't read it. I didn't read it. I don't know who was on there. That's the problem. I get it. I get it how you're saying, well, she's bringing attention to something that should be brought, some attention should be brought to blah, 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 whatever. Again, the selective outrage. None of y'all, including you, had anything to say when Goddess's kids were brought onto YouTube. She never brought them on here. They were brought on here because they were searched for. Because she was doxxed. But nobody had shit to say then, right? But yeah, she's one of the people that we're all under freaking surveillance. Again, read the damn list of people who are on there. Notice that the majority of people that are on that suspected whatever bullshit list have done nothing wrong other than do something that she didn't freaking like, or drag her, or deny an interview, or just go against what she said because he's bossy as hell. But you just want to sit up there and call her Colin Kaepernick. I'm gonna just say this real quick about that whole situation. Colin Kaepernick, all he did was sit down during the national anthem. He did it for a month before anybody paid attention to him, right? The whole and then it was a Marine that told him, that's disrespectful. Why don't you kneel? Because that's more respectful, right? So he started kneeling. He got other people to kneel. Now, mind you, during this kneeling, he was not saying anything wrong. He was not saying a word. And the whole purpose of that kneeling was to prevent situations like what happened with George Floyd and so many others. I've literally lost count. And on top of that, so now the NFL is like, man, we should have listened to him. I'm going to tell you right now, anybody going to be saying they should have listened to Trish because the document that she created is fraudulent. Colin Kaepernick didn't create no fraudulent documents. Period. And the biggest thing about the situation, and I have no problem having a debate or conversation with you because you made the choice to say those words, which was dumb. That was a stupid move. Sorry, not sorry, because that was not the smartest move to say those words, because you're comparing things that should never have been compared. And because my name is in this whole situation, I'm very upset. Because I don't know you. Like I said, whatever. I respect you, whatever, but I don't know you. And you don't know me. But one thing I will tell you that is for sure, I have never, ever, ever in my life even fathomed the idea of dragging a child, especially online. Neither has Madam, neither has Goddess, but her kids have been dragged. Goddess's children have been dragged. Goddess's family has been dragged. Goddess's family has been doxxed. But you put her down. Y'all put her down as a suspect or whatever. Not you. I'm sorry. Trish did. Why? And then she wants people to apologize to her in order to get her names up. Who? What? Where? Why? And how?
Girl, let me just say for the record, the Most High will come and leave and rebuild and come again and rebuild before I apologize to you for something that I didn't do. That is apologizing to you for what? Apology. Do you know the definition of an apology? It is an admission. Why am I apologizing to you for something that I didn't do? Only thing that I said, only thing I didn't even respond to you. And then when I did respond, I responded on my own platform or Goddess's platform. I don't do interviews, sis. What makes you think that I would do anything with you and you jumping up on it's on my community feed. Come on, people. It's on my community feed. Scroll down. And I'm supposed to let you interview me? Sis, you got me messed up. But go ahead, Denaya. Go ahead and wrap that up because I don't want that to be the whole video. It's so much other important stuff that we gotta talk about. I said what I said about DD Love. I said what I said about Midget Fingers. And I'm gonna just keep it moving. So if you got something to say, just go and say what you gotta say.
Yeah, Madam is so sweet. She really is. Because what she forgot to mention when we was talking about white privilege is the little meme that Mr. Tom posted on Facebook. He didn't post it, but he shared it. That just shows that they're racist. Period. Point blank. I stopped listening.
Exactly, Trina said.
Kind of stopped listening after that one. Like, I mean, like I looked, scroll, but I was kind of like, oh, this is easy. Racist jerk. Period. Like Madam goes back and she'll kind of, she'll go through it and she'll be like, well, this part was okay. And this is what shows that she's a real journalist because I'm biased as hell. I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm biased. I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing? Okay. I don't even gotta say nothing more. I'm done dealing with you. Does anyone feel that they're in the Twilight Zone watching people try to rewrite history? Oh my God, we saw for ourselves. I've said that. I said, we trying to bring us back to the 60s. Child, I ain't got that kind of patience. I swear for goodness. I do not. I ain't got that kind of patience. We really are. But here's the thing, though. We never really got, how do I say this? We never really got out of it. For real. Things changed. A couple people got dollars. But we never really got out of the oppressive part of it. The faces of our oppressors just changed. And we gained more gatekeepers that look like us. Let me explain. So what happened was we had more people that were in power that looked like us that were making sure that they stayed at that capacity. Right? They want to make sure that they stayed on top. So they continued to keep other people down so they could stay on top and keep their money. They weren't trying to give back. They were just trying to rise on their own and maybe let the people rise, possibly, if they were in the right circle. This is the problem that we have. And we can get into there's a whole other issues that we have with the African American community. We can get into that. I might talk about that on my channel. Because that's a whole nother conversation. And it's the end of Pride. I might do that today. Because shout out to Funky Dineva. Ooh! Yes, I understand the video. The title of the video is a little off-putting, but the facts in the video are on point. Everything he said in that video is on point. Yes, it talks about, saying, oh, that black men are part of the reason why we have issues in the black community. But if you go past that title and look into what he's saying, can't deny the facts of what he's saying in terms of the pain that people are having, and when he talks about the barbershops and the toxic masculinity and what a young gay boy must feel in the barbershop. We have multiple issues that we have in the black community right now that's harming us from being able to become united beyond this message on YouTube. But until we acknowledge those things, we're never going to be able to grow. Some of our people are gatekeepers in history. Yep, history is repeating itself. Absolutely. Think about who sold us into slavery. Ooh. I don't know if you've ever seen the Django Unchained, but y'all might want to look at that too. That tells a little bit about that situation and how they put us against each other. Not just colorism, but just in general. Colorism is a part of it, yes. But there are people that look just like you and me that are doing things that are keeping us out of the range of succeeding.
Right. Exactly. I agree. I agree 100%. And that's what people don't understand. Like, yeah, we can talk about, dragging kids. We can talk about, all the mess and all the, miscellaneous stuff that happens on this platform. But at the end of the day, and I've said this countless of times, what are we going to do as individuals to make it better, not just for us, but for everybody?
Yep.
We can help everybody. We all have platforms in which we can speak on. You can tell the people that's really invested in making a change by the content that they drop. And if you don't know what I mean, then I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to King Jazz. He's the only content creator I know that has a big platform, that's a bigger platform. I think it's like 47,000 subscribers.
Right.
He's the only one talking about the damn lynchings. That's what should be trending on here. Is what the hell is going on? Nobody else is talking about that. Everyone's talking about
and people don't.
Let's do the petition and get the person stop getting lynched. God damn it! What the hell?
Yeah, and they not also talking about the transgender black girls that's getting killed too, and that's that again. People only want to talk about what they want to talk about. If I'm gonna get a coin on here, it's definitely not gonna always be from me stating my opinion about a person that don't like me, or a person for some reason that feel like I'm jealous of them, or I aspire to be them, or want to be like them. That's just the trash attitude to have. As I've said before, and so have my homegirl said, I'm not in competition with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I do me. I speak about what I want to speak on. It ain't got nothing to do about being jealous. It ain't got nothing to do about numbers. It don't have nothing to do with none of that. If you are in the system, the mind frame of helping everybody so that all of our communities can heal, so that all of us can prosper, so that all of us can become one and help and support each other worldwide, then I don't really, I mean, basically all that dragging and stuff, that's fun. It's funny to me. Hey, Lue, I don't have to walk and stand in no one's shadow. I am who I am. You're going to take me for the person that I am, or you're not. It's that simple. At the end of the day, I don't really care about what you think or what you may assume about me. So, Current Soul says, I will keep saying, when we as Black people win, everyone wins, including LGBTQ plus community. So I will not fight for one specific group. I fight for Black people.
Period.
When we prosper, we all prosper. Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, people so worried about the stuff that really doesn't even matter. If you're not using your platform to speak out about racism or defunding the police, or just speaking generally about the evenness when it comes to people of color. So it is what it is. all this little YouTube, the petition, the people that don't like me, Goddess and Denia, and Deanna, and Shan, and Mimi checking for fake holes, and all the other people that's on the chopping block street. Like, none of that really matters. Like, I don't care. What are you going to do as a content creator with your platform to get the word out there that we need to come together, because November is coming. Let me just start there. November is coming, people.
We need to get
what are
on
you going to do in November to make a difference? I don't vote. Like I said, I do not vote on any. Like, neither one of the candidates are like. I mean, it's really lackluster. Like, it's just. But at the same token, will it count? My best guess is no. But will I participate and do my civic duty just so 45 can get out of office? Yeah. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. I'm all the way there. If you're not talking about stuff like this, all that other stuff, oh, she's jealous, and this, that, and the third, and I'm gonna do this, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. I'll never be jealous of a crack fiend. I'll never be jealous of a pill popper. I'll never be jealous of a person that consumes coke. I'll never be jealous of a person who could have possibly groomed their fucking son. I'll never be jealous of any of these people. Okay? I want y'all to really understand the people that's coming up against us and the people that are just sheep and they follow because they need something to believe in. Am I wrong, Denia?
Nope. Not at all.
Let me see. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If someone is speaking on something, be real. If you're into mess, keep it on mess. Child abuse isn't to be played with.
Thank you.
A real child's advocate would never. Exactly.
That part.
See, Zarina said, I don't understand how we are going through a civil movement and making history. How so many African Americans, wait a minute, hold up, it cut off. Wait a minute. How many African American YouTubers decide to focus on petty ish? Exactly. And why would they focus on stuff that don't mean nothing? It don't mean nothing. It don't. You know who I put my hopes and dreams in? The Most High. That's it. That's all. It's gonna sort out. I'm not worried about none of you. I'm in competition with no one. My only pursuit in life has been the betterment of myself. So all that jealousy, all that, oh, you gonna roast a nigga, or all that, oh, these ghetto at the Most High don't make mistakes. I am who I am because that's how I was created. Okay.
And that's another thing. By the way, the whole reason that I'm not going, way past 1,000 is because I don't drag fucking children. Damn it. I don't drag roast and gag and all that shit. That's what I don't do. That's why I'm not super, super high on the numbers. Not because I don't because I do real fucking content. People don't want to hear real fucking content. That's the goddamn problem. Don't you ever question what the hell I do over here. If I'm saying, hey, maybe you want to look at the list, maybe you want to see what's going on, maybe you want to research the people that they're talking about, Google is fucking free. Google is free. I am tired of people having misconceptions because they won't use motherfucking Google. I'm so over it. It isn't just about DD Love. It's about anyone who thinks that campaign is that bullshit campaign is okay. You're sitting up there and you're trying to put all these people into a box that they don't freaking belong in because you're mad. Because you're mad. At some point, somebody dragged you, probably got us in battle because they do that very well. And you're like, yeah, they dragged me. Let's go ahead and put them on there. Or you're mad because you scam people. Gee, I wonder what person that is. Actually, wait, no. Actually, both Trish and Sean scam people. And 5'8". Never mind. I just answered my own question. Do you know how much you have to hate yourself to take drugs and sin against your own body? They don't like themselves. They trust nobody and they're jealous. That's why they're trying to convince themselves. In 10 years, when their children or family ask, what were you uploading during the civil movement in 2020? They will have to say petty beef videos. They will have petty beef videos to show. Really? I would look at my relatives like, what? Oh no, it's funny. Karen said, I love your content. I just don't get notifications until your darn show is over. I love the vibe on your channel. Thank you. And like I said, but it's not. But that's the thing. I'm sitting here. I don't care because I have other platforms. I just started focusing on my YouTube like a year ago. So it doesn't matter to me. But my problem is the fact of you're making accusations when you literally don't know. Because you can literally go down my videos and I think I might have one video that has kids in it. But that's from a fashion show when they're models and it's all positive and they're all fully clothed. Like I don't understand how these people think that this is okay, and then how you speak on something that you have no knowledge of. That's what blows me. Just boggles my mind. It's absolutely disgusting. Do not speak on things that you have no knowledge of. I have knowledge on the stuff that I speak on. If I'm saying somebody's fake and they're phony, we have receipts and you've seen them, and they're more than likely on Madam's channel. I think I have a couple videos on my channel that might address mess, but I very rarely do it. And if I do, I do it in between. The one that I have that definitely addresses it is when Ask April tries to lie. But aside from that, I stay away from it because I have other things to do, and there are other more important things. Karen said something very, very, very pressing. She said, when we focus on Black people, the rainbow community wins. What I think a lot of people forget about that situation is that there are people that are in the rainbow community that are people of color, specifically Black people, and they feel trapped. I'm gonna do a review on Funky the Neighbors video tonight because I don't think I understand the pain. You could see the pain in his face talking about using his real name, all of that stuff. But talking about the pain of going to the barber shop and what that did, the different videos I've watched on King Jive's channel, the pain of going to the church for some of these people and what that's done. Imagine being a young person from the rainbow community going to a Black church. Not all, but way too many. There are a few that accept them, but the majority of them want their hair done, they want their music right, they want their clothes done, they want their nice little designer outfits. But don't you dare say you're gay in my congregation. So you have people, I've seen this, there's a really striking photo that a couple of my my amazing gay friends have put up where they have a gun pointed to the head with a white guy, one with a Black guy, and one to themselves. Because they feel attacked from all three sides. So when we're speaking about the rainbow community and the African American community, understand how intertwined some of them, how it's not all the time, but a lot of times it is, and those people feel trapped, and that's not fair. That's not fair at all. But we've made them feel that way. To in 10, 15 years, they'll be dead. It's rare to see a crackhead live past 60. Look around. How many do you see? There's so much happening here. If you sit and take the medicine on YouTube, I'm only subscribed to a few people in this sector. Whitney, MJ Whitney, yep. MJ Whitney, Rick James, Vesta, and the list goes on, not to mention those we know in real life. That's it. That's it.
Right. And man, y'all focus on the wrong thing. It's like,
it's just so
y'all
frustrating.
do. Like y'all really do. It's like at first it was cute, it was funny, and it's always been laughable. But at this point, like, when do y'all take a break?
I'm over it.
I like, when do y'all actually go and focus on your community and this, that, and the thing? All these people that y'all praising, what have they done
Nothing.
for their community? What have they done for people that's still dying from COVID-19? What have they done for the people that were slain in their cities, their towns? What are they, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all doing? Or is, some of y'all just turning y'all nose up at them like you better than them? Hey, Muffy.
Karen, so that's so on point. Oh my goodness. That's not even going to the people don't give a damn about black women situation. Ooh, that's a whole nother life.
Right. But no, we can speak about it on here, like, because I'm just like, I'm confused. Like, I'm really confused. Like, I really don't watch a lot of people. So if I get something wrong, I'll be woman enough to be like, hey, I got something wrong. But like the whole thing with wait a minute, all this, stop this transgender people be dragging women. Okay? It becomes a point in a person's life where they're constantly defending themselves because they chose that path to become transgendered man or woman. Why are you so invested in these people's life? They got just as much right to be as miserable as we are.
That part.
Okay? And before all that, before all the titles that were bestowed upon them, they were people of color. They were black. Like, why do it matter what they like? People sit there, and I've watched this like online, and they putting out stuff and they putting out pictures and this, that, and the third. For what? Is you that mad, sis? Did she damage your ovaries that bad, sis? I'm just saying, you can't put on a head wrap and say you for black empowerment. You can't do that. You can't sit on your platform in the city where the stuff is the epicenter of where everything is coming from and going on now, and get mad because somebody has a difference of opinion and they just happen to be transgender. Like, you can't do that. I mean, you can, but at the end of the day, like I said, I don't watch any of these people enough to really know the ins and outs. But I can only speak on what I do see, and what I do see right now is two content creators who have overwhelmingly large platforms going at it because another person didn't like their opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying, you grown, you do what you want to do with all due respect, but at the same time, what are we doing to like help? Like, I know what people have done. Like, I'm not, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not questioning what anybody has done as far as their community and stuff like that. But now for that other petty bullshit, like, now ain't really the time to really do that. It's not. You didn't like the opinion that was given. Okay, fine. That's your right. But now ain't the time for that. That's a petty squabble. You know, don't be trending for something that can be worked out. You know, and like I said, I don't know all the details, but I'm going off of what I see. Basically, from what I see, because you got to make that distinction nowadays, because you'll say it and then a person to run it back and take it back and be like, oh, yeah, well, you know, such and such, this little non-insignificant YouTuber, this small YouTuber had something to say. And no, I'm just saying, I understand both sides of the argument. And it boils down to one person not liking their opinion, and you know, they said what they said, which they have that right to. But don't bring in the fact that the person is like, that's no secret. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's no secret that the person is trending. Like, who cares? They all family. They all family. It don't matter. People that cross-dress, it don't matter. They family. And this is why it's going to take even longer for us to be truly liberated as people of color. This is one reason why. Don't y'all, like, for real, like, I'm going to put it in the plainest term. Don't y'all want to be free? Oh, shoot. Because let's be clear. The thing that you call freedom right now is not, we have not been truly liberated. I mean, let's be clear on that. We are not truly liberated.
Here's the thing. Let me read Tracy's comments real quick, but then I'm gonna get into the whole thing. Seriously, I'd like to know why our government doesn't protect us. The police kill us, and DCFS let Black children remain in abusive situations. If Fire Reader's kids were white, they would have been removed. Absolutely. No questions asked there. The question is, why doesn't our government protect us? Oh, child. The life isn't long enough. But the biggest thing is that the Constitution wasn't written for us. It was written for white male landowners. To be quite honest, we were still on the damn plantation when the Constitution was written, so we really weren't in mind at all, even with the civil rights, even with the 13th Amendment. If y'all look at that, I need y'all to really look at that, because it doesn't apply if you get locked up, and that's why the Black Codes happened directly after slavery, and they was locking us up for everything with breathing. Why do you think the vagrants and loitering laws came into play? Those were excuses to lock us up. Mob action, all of that, just excuses to lock us up, because we were more than two people of color in a group. I've seen gangs of white folks together, and they don't get charged with anything. But they're told to move along occasionally, depending on what time of the month it is, because cops got that quota where you got to have I'm not sure what the number of arrests are, but there is an arrest quota, which is a whole nother conversation. But the issue with that, they don't care. When it comes to mainstream media, we talked about this before, but mainstream media does not. They tell whatever narrative fits them. If you want to look at the different the protests that occurred, those weren't shown on mainstream media, but the riots were. The peaceful protests weren't shown on mainstream. The peaceful protest was not on the mainstream media, but the riots and looting was, and the different organizations that did that. And the majority of the people that were doing the rioting and the looting did not look like us, but we got blamed for it though. They even had people that were doing the stuff in blackface again, because they already knew that all they were gonna do was see black, period, and they were gonna jump. She said, you know, and I think, and that's the thing, and that's like I said, when it comes to the whole, when it comes to the whole situation, when it comes to the rainbow community, when it comes to the transgender community, because even within that community, they're divided. Some gay folks don't like transgender, and vice versa, and then the gay
right.
men or the gay white men
that's
don't
what people
really
don't
like the gay black men. All this kind of stuff.
It's a lot of infighting.
Yeah, so it's a ton of infighting, and that's the issue. We have so much infighting, and people can't grow that way. But the one thing that we have to do, and this is going to take people having the guts to do it. We're out of churches. Y'all are out of church right now. I stopped going for multiple reasons, but we'll get into that later. Y'all are out of church right now. Has anyone talked to their pastor and asked them to stop preaching hate? That's a step right there in the right direction. Because y'all want to go on Sodom and Gomorrah and not understand what Sodom and Gomorrah was and all this kind of mess that you've been fed regarding the rainbow community. And no, I'm not a part of it, but damn it, I have enough friends and family that I go hard for every freaking time. Hold on, wait. She said the fact that
Right.
we put time into the document website, yep, and petition under the guise of helping children are truly being abused by their parents angers me. That they may want to stop. I'm gonna say that again because that made so much sense. The fact that these people are putting into a doxing website and petition under the guise of helping children who are truly being abused by their parents angers me. They may want to stop. Because if I make calls, I promise you, they'll be on here crying, but not for no cash app. Girl, that's the problem. Exactly what Trina said. That is the problem right there. These people are currently being doxed and lied on under the guise that they're helping children. Madam earlier mentioned the DARE campaign. That was everything's under the guise of helping the kids, helping the future. You want to know what they do to the future? You know when they started listening to kids? When did Twitter come? Whenever Twitter came into play, that's when kids got an actual voice. And tell them it was always, be not heard.
Right.
Stay in a child's place. Mm-hmm. Everything was under the guise of we're going to help the children. You know what's so funny about this whole situation? I get so irritated by people that say, because every time a violent situation comes up, it always comes back to, well, what are you doing in Chicago? Why don't y'all march when they got problems in Chicago? Baby, we've been marching for years and we got laws passed. What are you talking about? But the problem is that every time we get something passed in this city, every time we make an actual change, and Karen So will tell you this herself, every time I make a change that's positive, and we get community groups working together, and we get people that are working with the police, you sit there and you change the person that's the leadership so that relationship can be destroyed. How many times have these cops tried to sit up there and destroy truces between gangs? How many times have these cops sat up there and destroyed anti-violence? I'm sorry. How many times has this city defunded anti-violence programs? Don't tell me what we're not trying to do for our
city. Wait a minute. And also, wait a minute. And also, in Baltimore, the police made an arrangement with the local drug dealers to sell on one corner. What y'all seen in the wire, that was real.
Mm.
They actually did that under Commissioner Norris. That was real. But yet y'all sitting up here talking about petty squabbles. I don't have time for it. I really don't. Like, come on.
All
Wait a
this
minute, hold up.
perception about
Let
what,
me
what,
read
what
some
we're
of these
doing
comments.
and what we're not doing. So,
right, and Trina C has been making some pretty valid ass points. You know,
hell
she
no, they
has
ain't
been
cool.
making some valid points, and I'm just like, at what's really going on? Karen Soul says at Trina C, so many babies are actually being abused and stuck in homes with their abusers, but these people think that it's a money grab and a darn joke. Exactly. And another thing, when school shut down, I don't think people really understand the totality of what's been going on. When school shut down, the abuse don't stop. Okay, it was kids that was going to school just to get away from their abusers. How many times have you heard those stories? Okay, Mafi, thank you. How many times have we heard those stories? And now that schools are shut down, imagine the type of abuse that is taking hold right now. See, it's okay to talk about dragging kids on social media and everything like that. But if you're going to talk about dragging kids, let's talk about all the kids, okay?
Oh, hold on, wait. I forgot to say something.
Let's talk about the ones that are stuck. Oh, okay.
No, I read. So
What?
and 5A, directly, this is directly to you. How dare you try to sit there and act like you're trying to do something? You ain't doing shit for the city, not a motherfucking thing. What have you done? Have you written a petition? Have you been to an event? But I'm like, you're not even teaching your child. What are you teaching your daughter right now? What example are you setting for her? There are so many kids that have been out at different events, protests, all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about right now during the Rona, but I'm saying period, because I've said my first professor when I was 7. So Miss me with all of that. And I'm like, if you were going to involve your child with anything, it should be something talking about what the kind of content that would be phenomenal for you to do for real, on some real shit, would be the content of telling her how beautiful she is and how important it is for her to understand that she can be a Black queen, that she is a princess. Those are the kind of things you should be doing with her, but you're not. That's the instilling these amazing values into her, but you're not doing that. You're allowing her to get disrespected by men in the store. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. Oh, and Cancel said, people only believe the nonsense from other people who do not live in Chicago, not factual information, like the stupidity, like that dumb Spike Lee movie, Chirac. Oh my Lord. I did not see that. I was so irritated by that entire situation because it was just disgusting the way that our city was portrayed. There were so many things that were left out. And I respect Spike Lee, but dude, really? That was just not the best move when it came to this city. And again, and for those who know me, I've spoken about the term Chirac and what it was originally used for. Chirac, that term was specifically used to get money from the U.S. government because we were having issues in Chicago regarding violence. We're like, well, daggone it, y'all spending billions of dollars in Iraq. Hey, we got Chirac right here. But that was only used to get money because we did have an issue. We did have a severe issue with violence. It's not as bad as it is now. Hell, it was crazy in the 90s. It's actually getting better, but people wouldn't know that because they're looking at the numbers now. Oh, you've had this many shootings. I'm like, yeah, but that many people didn't die. I'm just saying, like,
girl, Denaya. And they say the same thing about Baltimore too.
I know.
And it's always, y'all this, y'all that, but be the first ones to run down here when they in trouble.
People.
All the criminals come here. Like, why? But yet y'all want to, trash somebody where they live at. This, that, and the third. I mean, Trump actually basically got on there and was talking about Chicago and Baltimore.
Yeah. Because
Basically,
he can't come here.
Because
that's why. He can't
your
come
mayor
here.
had the courage. Right. Your man had the courage to stand up and do what is right. Miss Longfoot.
Lightfoot,
excuse me. My apologies.
good.
She had the courage to jump up and do what was right for her city, for her constituents. And she was basically trashed about that. Elijah Cummings was trashed for speaking out against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, y'all have a crime problem. Y'all got boarded up houses, this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. Man, your city and town dirty too. Fuck you talking about?
I'm from New York. What are you talking about?
Like, they dirty too.
New York doesn't have alleys.
It's some parts that's dirty as hell. Like, come on, we're not gonna sit up here and act like this don't exist.
But
in LA, they got Skid Row. Like, come on, please don't act like this don't exist.
Right. But even beyond that, when it comes to the boarded up houses, which we've tried to get into affordable housing and all of that, and people have tried to do things to get affordable housing in this city. Again, Karen So can address this as well. We have tried to get affordable housing in this city, but the problem is that we have too many people that come that don't live here, that have that love Chicago for whatever reason, but they want to come in and change everything. It's not as people that don't live here have not tried to change things. It's when we try to change things and we have the power to change things, the rules change. Let me be very clear. So when it comes to elections, if the aldermen don't get the votes that they want, they change the borders to make sure that they get the votes that they want.
Exactly. And that happens a lot more than what people think. That really happens a lot.
There's a whole term for it. It's called gerrymandering.
Yes. Yes, most
definitely. It's the reason 45 won the damn election in the first place. Let's be clear. The only reason he has the election is because of gerrymandering and because Hillary conceded way too freaking early. Fire all of your team. I'm just saying.
Right.
Exactly. That's what it's called, gerrymandering. So when gerrymandering occurs, then whatever politician doesn't get that, they don't get that district, they redistrict their area. If you look at some of the different areas in the state, it looks like a child drew it with the borders. It's insane.
Right, exactly. The Electoral College. It's all screwed up. It's all screwed up now.
And I need y'all to understand. You wanna know why you wanna know why we're not at the top of the list. So we talk about stuff like this because people get mad because we speak truth. There's nothing that I'm saying that I can't find facts for. And I haven't spoken on since I was 20 years old. Let's speak on the exact same thing. Speak on the housing issues in Illinois. When Blagojevich was in office, I told him what he wasn't doing as a governor, and he made sure that he came and talked to me afterwards. Like, he literally came and found me. I wasn't trying to talk to him. I was mad as heck at him because I knew what he wasn't doing for this city, but he came and found me. The reason that I got into politics is because I was doing housing advocacy work, and then one of the aldermen that I worked with, there was 50 aldermen that were working on a housing act, the Affordable Housing Act in Chicago. When the last day when it came up, Mayor Daley decided to call a crazy little 8:00 meeting and thought that nobody was going to come. So a whole bunch of people are there. We're here and there. We're watching him, change the rules of everything that we had asked for, and go from 30% set aside to 10% set aside, and a whole bunch of the BS rules. Right? 48 aldermen folded and agree with him. The person that's who our current
Right.
president that I worked with did not. And that's why when she said she was running for Cook County Board President, I jumped on that. I was at the very first press conference when there was no press because he would thought that she wasn't going to win. He couldn't pronounce her name for the first couple of events. I was out there when it was a parade of 6 people, my mother, my father, and 3 of her staff in the rain, screaming that she was going to win. 2.5 years later, now she's been in office for, I think it's her second term that she's in right now. So I need y'all to understand. I'm not just saying things. I understand the whole reason that we even have the marijuana laws that we have in the state is partially because of her. The whole reason that before we had the marijuana laws in the state, the reason that we had a ticket as opposed to jail time was because of her. She didn't take credit for that for whatever reason. Again, fire your daggone team. But I was in the room when they were researching, how many the actual numbers for disproportionate amounts of African American and Latino people that were locked up. So don't sit up here and think that we're just saying these things because we've read something online. Maybe we've seen the research. We were there when the research was being done. People aren't just saying things because they read something online or read something on a social media post. Social media wasn't around when I was in this heavy. I fell back. I had other things to do. I fell back because it's no longer beneficial for me. I fell back because I was doing 10,000 so much work that I wasn't getting paid for. That's why I fell back.
Right. And I mean, that's what people don't understand. But I mean, only so much can be said in a day about all the things that we should be focused on, but are not focused on because people think that they have a small win or a victory because of some minute detail. Let them go ahead and do it. Whatever comes next, they gonna get it. Calm as a motherfucker. Calm is going to be the thing that's going to settle all and end all. So please live in the moment, laugh now, cry later, and that's all I gotta say about it. But I would definitely love to have you back on my platform, Denaya. So we can continue this conversation.
Yeah.
My door is always open to DD Love if she wants to speak about it. We can come up with some ideas. We can brainstorm. You can pick my brain and vice versa. I would love to have you.
Oh, absolutely. Can you please put up Karen Soul's last comment real quick?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. And Denaya, she never takes credit for her hard work. That's why when marijuana was made legal, because of her trying to keep our black and brown brothers and sisters out of jail. Exactly. And I definitely feel it. You know, because it is disproportionate. I know down here, Mosby, the state's attorney, she is a lot of cases that was being looked at different because of the laws that were passed. It's a lot of cases that were getting dismissed and things like that because it was for like marijuana charges and stuff like that. So I mean, it's been an active step to go in the right direction because cannabis should have never been criminalized, but you have to go back and look at why it was criminalized. They used it against Mexicans and they used it against black people. The DARE campaign, the DARE campaign doing look, listen, I'm from that era. From that era. I was there when it first started, you know, to have Reagan say, yeah, we're going to do a DARE campaign, but he was one of the movers and shakers of it getting flooded onto our streets. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion and my opinion only. He was one of the movers and shakers running behind this their campaign as a fraud. Okay? But you got to go way farther back than that. That's when my journey began. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Well, I'll definitely come back and oh yeah, no problem, Karen. So no problem. Thank you, Keisha. I will definitely come back and talk about this some more and stuff like that. Like I said, my platform is open to DD Love and anyone else who wants to speak on anything that I've said or anything that Denaya has said, or just to come together and talk about what ideas we can do for social change and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Thank you guys so much. Denaya, it is always a pleasure to have you.
It's always a pleasure to
on my platform. And this is one of the reasons why they mad, y'all.
That's why they're so mad.
That's why they mad. Shout out to my motherfucking girl Goddess.
Yes.
To Shan, to Deanna, Food Junkie, the Reed of Philadelphia, the Governor Rick Reed. All the ones that you love to hate. And we ain't even come together because we don't like each other, like we don't like a certain person. I came together and started watching these people because I genuinely enjoy their content. I genuinely enjoy their content as content creators. It's always something different and fresh about their content. Okay, so and any other content creator that I didn't name or whatever, if I've ever been in your chats and spoken in your chats and said hello, most definitely this goes out to you too, Lady Nika.
Yeah.
Auntie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I welcome everyone, but this foolishness about they're shooketh and they're oh my God,
no.
Look, Yanni, my name in real life have been written down so many goddamn times. You could never shake me. You could never shake me.
I think that's the funniest part about this whole situation. Oh, they're shook if they're scared, but we've done nothing wrong. So we're just irritated at this point.
We're not on trial. We're not on trial, and that's what makes it stupid.
Please try to bring it to court. Please, I want to take all your money. Please do that. Please be that stupid. Oh, please. Because you have nothing at all. Oh, please be that dumb.
This petition was started because somebody wanted to be noticed.
Right.
Someone wanted to finally be acknowledged. I know she's having an orgasm. This is why I won't say her name. I know she's having an orgasm every time someone says her name. Because people didn't want to do interviews, because people didn't want to be associated with you because how you moved in these streets. Mm-hmm. And this is why we on a petition as suspected offenders, but you have no evidence. You have no evidence to the contrary, darling.
You're probably watching right now, or one of your team is watching. Hi, can you tell her that
Hi, team.
Hi, team.
Hi, team.
Tell her that that they're lying. And
look, listen. If you're a part of her team and you're coming over here and you're watching my videos, please make sure you tell her to give her my warmest regards when I say, kiss my entire ass. Okay. You can call me what you want to. Call me childish all you want to. That doesn't bother me in the least. Tell me I sound like a man. It doesn't bother me in the least. Do what you want. But if you ain't on getting stuff together so all of us can succeed, if you would just check off of your competition box real quick and get down here in the mud with the rest of us
No,
and do work
Keisha, that's
so
the
that all
problem.
of us can be liberated, I would greatly appreciate it.
So, Keisha, that's the issue. So, people weren't watching her until she did this, and now
Exactly.
she's excused 5 Abe and all that, and working with the crackhead over in Baltimore. And now all of a sudden people are watching. So now she has these numbers, and now she's all happy and things or whatever, and thinks she has people behind her. But she doesn't realize that the dude in Baltimore probably gonna get sued because he's doing so much crazy stuff.
Fraud.
The chick in Chicago,
Fraudulent behavior. Fraudulent behavior. Selective outrage. How many times do we have to say this? It is what it is. We all
know they only listen to us to steal our ideas. Come on now, they're actually listen to us.
Look, it is what it is. But with that being said, thank you everybody. Zarina, Keisha, Trina C, most definitely. Karen Soul. Did I say Keisha?
Yes.
And anybody else that was up in the bushes, Muffy. Thank you guys. I always appreciate you guys' input. I always appreciate your outlook and how you feel. You're right, Keisha. Let me put that comment up real quick. But you know, it is what it is. What's for us is for us. What's for them is for them. And may we all finish at the finish line together.
Exactly. Peace and blessings for everyone. Have a good day. I'll be like,
AKA, fuck these bitches. All right, y'all. Bye.
Take care. Bye.